The alarm rang through the halls of New Geneva Station. Ambassador John Martinez rushed to the main communication room. His heart was beating fast. Something big was happening. The station floated in space near Earth. It was humanity's most important place for talking to aliens. For 200 years, humans had been part of the galaxy. They had met 12 different alien races. These aliens called themselves the Galactic Council. John walked into the room. The big screen was already on. Tall crystal being appeared on it. This was Zethkari, the leader of the council. His body looked like living glass. Light moved through him as he spoke. "Greetings, Ambassador Martinez," Zethkari said. His voice sounded like wind through caves. "I bring a message from the Galactic Council." John sat down. He had talked to Zethkari many times before, but today felt different. The alien's tone was cold and formal. "What can I do for you, Speaker Zethkari?" John asked. "The Council has made a decision about humanity," the alien said. "Your species has grown too fast. You have become dangerous." John felt his stomach drop. This was not good news. Zethkari continued. 200 years ago, humans could barely leave their planet. Now you travel between stars in hours. You have settled 17 worlds. Your technology grows too quickly. The alien's crystal body grew brighter. The Council has studied your history. Humans fight wars. You destroy things. You do not follow rules like other species. John wanted to argue, but he stayed quiet. He needed to hear everything. "The Council gives Earth 30 days, Zethkari said. "You will give up all your military ships. You will let the Council watch over Earth. You will accept the label of protected developing species." The words hit John like a punch. Protected developing species was what the Council called races that could not take care of themselves. It meant humans would lose their freedom. "And if we refuse?" John asked. Zethkari's light dimmed. "Then the Council will take action. We have 15,000 ships, you have 200. The choice should be clear." The screen went dark. John sat alone in the quiet room. He picked up his communication device and called Admiral Kevin Brooks. "Admiral, we have a problem," John said. 20 minutes later, Admiral Brooks arrived at the station. He was a tall man with gray hair and serious eyes. He had been in the Earth Defense Force for 30 years. Behind him came Dr. Helen Carter, Earth's top expert on alien life. John played the recording of the meeting. Admiral Brooks watched without saying a word. His face got harder as the message continued. 30 days, the Admiral said when it finished. "They think we will just give up." Dr. Carter shook her head. "This is wrong. I have studied all 12 Council races. Each one went through the same growth period that humans are in now. They all fought wars. They all expanded quickly. But they forget that now," Admiral Brooks said. "They sit on top and tell everyone else what to do." John looked at both of them. "What do we tell President Rodriguez?" Admiral Brooks stood up. "We tell him the truth. The Council thinks humans are weak. They think we will roll over and accept their rule." "Will we?" John asked. The Admiral smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "That depends on what the President decides. But I can tell you this. The Council does not know everything about human technology." Dr. Carter looked curious. "What do you mean?" "Mean that Captain Lisa Thompson's quantum drive demonstration last month was just for show. The Council thinks they saw our best technology. They are wrong." John felt a spark of hope. "How wrong?" Admiral Brooks walked to the window. He looked out at the stars. "Very wrong. For decades we have been preparing for this day. We knew the Council would try to stop us eventually. They always do." "So, what is the plan?" Dr. Carter asked. "First, we contact President Rodriguez. Then we activate Operation Silent Thunder. The Council wants to see how dangerous humans can be. We will show them." Admiral Brooks turned back to them. "Dr. Carter, I need you to analyze every piece of information we have about Council military technology. Find their weak points." "Already done," she said. "I have been working on that for 5 years." "Good. John, you will handle the diplomatic side. We need the council to think we are scared and confused. Can you do that? John nodded. I can make them believe we are panicking. Perfect. In 30 days, the council will get their answer. It just will not be the answer they expect. The Admiral walked toward the door. There is something else you both should know. Captain Thompson's quantum drive is not our most advanced technology. It is not even close. He paused at the door. The Council has ruled the galaxy for 3,000 years. They think they know everything. They think humans are just another race to control. Admiral Brooks opened the door. They are about to learn that humans do not follow the same rules as everyone else. After he left, John and Dr. Carter sat in silence. Finally, Dr. Carter spoke. Do you think we can really stand up to the entire Council? John thought about the Admiral's words. He thought about human history. Humans had always fought when someone tried to control them. They had never given up even when things looked impossible. I think the Council made a mistake, John said. They looked at our history and saw war and violence. They think that makes us dangerous in a bad way. What do you mean? They do not understand that humans fight hardest when someone tries to take their freedom. They think we are dangerous because we are violent. They do not realize we are dangerous because we never give up. Dr. Carter smiled. So what do we do now? Now we wait, John said, and we let the Council think they have already won. Meanwhile, deep in Earth's military headquarters, secret plans were already moving. Admiral Brooks was right about one thing. The Council did not know everything about human technology. They did not know about the projects hidden in Earth's deepest laboratories. They did not know about the weapons that could bend space itself. Most importantly, they did not know that humans had been studying Council technology for 200 years. Every diplomatic meeting, every trade deal, every friendly conversation had been a chance to learn. The Council thought they were teaching humans. Really, humans were stealing their secrets and making them better. The 30-day countdown had begun. The Council thought it was counting down to human surrender. They had no idea they were counting down to their own defeat. The Grand Chamber on Nexus Prime was full of alien voices. 12 different species sat in their special seats around a huge crystal dome. This was the heart of Galactic Council power. Here, they had decided the fate of hundreds of worlds. Speaker, Zethkari floated in the center. His crystal body caught the light from Nexus Prime's 3 suns. Around him, the other Council members talked in their different languages. The translation devices made their words clear to everyone. The humans have had 5 days to think, said Fleet Commander Yithmore. He was from the Hegemony, a race that looked like giant insects made of metal. Their response will come soon. Counselor Rethavan of the Symbiotic Collective nodded. Her species looked like plants that could walk and talk. Our spies report panic in human colonies. They are moving ships and people. This is normal behavior before surrender. Zethkari raised one crystal arm. The chamber became quiet. Let us review what we know about human military strength. The main display lit up. It showed a map of human space. Red dots marked their military ships. The numbers were clear. Humans had 197 combat vessels. The Council had 15,043. Their technology is interesting but limited, said tech analyst Vortham of the Builders. His robot body clicked as he spoke. The quantum drive they showed us is impressive, but their weapons are basic. Their shields are weak. What about their expansion? Asked Counselor Nethra of the Watchers. Her people looked like tall shadows with glowing eyes. 17 worlds in 200 years is very fast. Fleet Commander Yithmore made a sound like grinding metal. This was how his people laughed. Fast, yes, but uncontrolled. They spread out like a disease, no planning, no wisdom. This is why they must be stopped, Zethkari said. Every species goes through a growth phase. But humans are different. They do not learn to control themselves. The other council members agreed. They had all seen species like this before. Young. Races that grew too fast and caused problems. The solution was always the same. take away their freedom and teach them to behave. The Karathi tried to resist us 800 years ago, said Elder Mithari of the Ancients. Her people were the oldest in the council. They looked like living trees with many arms. They also had new technology. They also thought they were special. Where are the Karathi now? Asked Rethvan. Working in our gardens, Mithari replied. Happy and peaceful under our protection. The council members made sounds of agreement. This was how things worked. The strong guided the weak. Order came from control. What is our intelligence from human space? Zethkari asked. Agent Claith of the Shadows stepped forward. His people were masters of spying. They could change their shape to look like any other species. The humans are afraid, Speaker. Their military ships are pulling back to their core worlds. Several colonies are starting evacuation procedures. Good, said Yithmore. They understand reality. Agent Claith continued. Their Admiral Brooks has been sending messages to all human worlds. He tells them to prepare for council protection. This shows they know they cannot fight. The council members relaxed. This was going exactly as expected. Humans were acting like every other species that faced council power. Fear, panic, then surrender. What about their President Rodriguez? Asked Zethkari. He has been very quiet, Claith said. No public speeches, no military orders. He seems to be accepting the situation. Counselor Nethra's eyes glowed brighter. Perhaps humans are wiser than we thought. They see the truth quickly. Or they are just cowards, Yithmore said. Either way, the result is the same. The discussion continued for hours. The council planned how to manage Earth after surrender. They would need to take apart human technology. Their quantum drive was too dangerous for a protected species. Their military ships would be recycled into cargo vessels. What about their population? Asked Rethvan. Humans breed very fast. We will set limits, Zethkari said. No more than 50 billion humans total. That should be enough for their basic needs. Elder Mithari waved her many arms. We should also control their education. Humans learn too quickly. We must slow this down. Tech analyst Vortham agreed. Yes, no more advanced mathematics. No more physics beyond basic levels. We will keep them smart enough to work but not smart enough to be dangerous. The plans grew more detailed. The council had done this many times before. They knew exactly how to break down a species and rebuild them as useful servants. When should we position our fleet? Asked Yithmore. In 20 days, Zethkari decided. That will give humans 10 days to see our ships and understand their situation. Most species surrender before we have to fire a single shot. Meanwhile, the council's spies continued to report from human space. They saw exactly what they expected to see. Human ships moving away from the border, civilians leaving outer colonies, military bases going into defensive positions. What they did not see was the truth. The moving ships were not retreating. They were positioning themselves according to a plan that Admiral Brooks had been developing for decades. The evacuating civilians were actually intelligence agents preparing for operations the council could not imagine. Agent Caroline White worked from a secret base on the human world of New Dallas. Her job was to make the council believe their spies were seeing real panic. Every fake evacuation, every false report of fear came from her team. How are they buying this? Asked her assistant, Agent Tony Garcia. Because they want to believe it, Caroline replied. The council has been on top for so long they cannot imagine anyone really challenging them. On Earth, Dr. Patricia Lewis was putting the finishing touches on humanity's real secret. The Aurora project had been hidden for 50 years. It was technology that would change everything. All systems are ready, she told Admiral Brooks over a secure channel. The council thinks our quantum drive is impressive. Wait until they see what we really built. Admiral Brooks smiled. In 25 days, the council would send their fleet to Earth. They expected to find scared humans ready to surrender. Instead, they would find something that would shake the foundation of their power. The council continued their meetings, making plans for human surrender. They talked about patrols and protection zones. They discussed work assignments and population controls. They planned everything except the possibility that humans might fight back. This was their greatest mistake. For 3,000 years, the Council had never met a species that could truly challenge them. They had forgotten what it felt like to face an equal opponent. But humans were not equal opponents. As the Council would soon learn, humans were something much more dangerous. They were opponents who had been preparing for this fight since the day they first met the Council. The countdown continued. 25 days until the Council expected human surrender. 25 days until the galaxy would change forever. The Council was confident. They had numbers, experience, and superior technology. What they did not have was knowledge of what humans could really do when pushed into a corner. Soon, they would learn, and when they did, it would leave them speechless. The 30 days were over. Fleet Commander Ythmor stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion. Around him, 15,000 Council ships waited in perfect formation. This was the largest fleet ever assembled in this part of the galaxy. "All ships report ready," his aide announced. "The human deadline has passed." Ythmor looked at the tactical display. Earth's solar system was 12 light hours away. His scouts reported only a few hundred human ships guarding their homeworld. It would be over quickly. "Open a channel to the human fleet," he ordered. The main screen flickered. Admiral Kevin Brooks appeared, sitting calmly in his command chair aboard the USS Liberty. He looked relaxed, almost peaceful. "Fleet Commander Ythmor," Brooks said with a slight nod. "I assume you are here for our answer." "Yes," Ythmor replied. "The 30 days are over. The Council requires your immediate surrender." Admiral Brooks was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke in a clear, steady voice. "The United Earth government respectfully declines your ultimatum. We suggest you reconsider your position." Ythmor made the grinding sound that was hegemony laughter. "Admiral, you have 200 ships, I have 15,000. Do you really want to fight this battle?" "Numbers are not everything, Commander," Brooks replied. "Sometimes the smallest force can win if they fight smart." "Then you choose war," Ythmor said. "No," Brooks answered. "You chose war when you gave us the ultimatum. We are just defending ourselves." The communication ended. Ythmor turned to his weapons officer. "Begin the advance. Target their outer defenses first. Show them the price of defiance." The Council fleet moved forward like a metal tide. 15,000 ships, each one larger and more powerful than anything humans had ever built, or so the Council believed. The first surprise came when they reached the outer edge of Earth's solar system. Sensors detected something impossible. Human ships were appearing behind them, not coming from somewhere else, actually appearing out of nothing. "Sir," the sensor officer called out, "I am reading human vessels throughout our formation. They just materialized." Ythmor looked at his displays. It was true. Human ships had somehow jumped directly into the middle of his fleet, but that was impossible. The quantum drive took time to charge and could only work over short distances. Captain Sarah Williams spoke from one of the human ships that had appeared right next to the Eternal Dominion. "Commander Ythmor, you should know that our quantum drive works better than we let you believe. Much better." Before Ythmor could respond, more reports came in. Human fleets were appearing all over Council space. Not just near Earth, everywhere. Captain Lisa Thompson had materialized near the Vorthak homeworld. Commander Mike Anderson's ship surrounded the hegemony's main military base. "How are they doing this?" Ythmor demanded. His science officer, a Vorthak crystal being, pulsed with confused light. "Sir, they are using quantum displacement on a scale we thought impossible. The energy requirements should be enormous." But the real shock was yet to come. Engineer Tony Garcia, aboard a human science vessel, activated something the Council had never seen before. Space itself began to bend and twist. A hole opened in reality. A wormhole. "Attention Council fleet," came a broadcast from Admiral Brooks. "You are looking at stable artificial wormhole technology. We thought you might be interested since your scientists said it was impossible." The wormhole opened directly under one of the Council's massive dreadnoughts. The ship, as large as a city, simply fell through space and disappeared. A few seconds later, it reappeared on the other side of the solar system, tumbling helplessly. "The ship is unharmed," Brooks announced. "We wanted to demonstrate control, not destruction." Panic spread through the Council fleet. Artificial wormholes were theoretical technology. Every Council species had tried to build them. All had failed. The physics were too complex, the energy requirements too high. Yet humans had not only built them, they were using them as weapons. More human innovations revealed themselves. Lieutenant Commander Rachel Stone's squadron fired weapons that passed right through Council shields like they were not there. The projectiles materialized inside enemy ships, damaging systems but carefully avoiding areas with crew. "Their weapons are phasing through our defenses," reported the tactical officer. "I have never seen anything like this." Major Chris Taylor's bomber wing demonstrated another impossible technology. They released small devices that seemed to eat through Council ship hulls. But instead of destroying the ships, these devices rewrote their computer systems. Council vessels began receiving new programming. Their own weapons systems turned off. Their navigation computers started playing human music. Their communication arrays began broadcasting human diplomatic proposals to every ship in the fleet. "They are not trying to destroy us," Yithmore realized. "They are playing with us." The most unsettling part was how the humans fought. Council military doctrine was based on order and logic, predictable tactics that had worked for thousands of years. Human tactics made no sense at all. Captain Angela Roberts led a squadron that seemed to be in 3 places at once. Her ships would appear, fire a few shots, then vanish. They would reappear somewhere completely different and attack from an impossible angle. It was like fighting ghosts. Major Daniel Kim's special forces somehow got aboard Council ships without using transporters or boarding pods. They just appeared inside, reprogrammed important systems, then disappeared. Council security teams found only friendly messages written on the walls. "How are they doing this?" Yithmore asked his science officer again. "Sir, I believe they are using technology that should not exist. According to our physics, none of this is possible." "But it is happening," Yithmore said. "Yes, sir. Which means either our physics are wrong, or humans understand something we do not." Reports continued to pour in from across the galaxy. Human forces were not just fighting, they were winning, and they were doing it without causing massive casualties. They disabled ships instead of destroying them. They captured facilities instead of bombing them. The Council fleet that had come to force human surrender was now trapped in Earth's solar system. Human wormhole technology had cut off their escape routes. Their communications were being redirected through human systems. Their own weapons had been turned off by human computer viruses. "Sir," the communication officer called out, "I am receiving a transmission from Nexus Prime. Speaker Zethkari wants to speak with you immediately." Yithmore accepted the call. Zethkari's crystal form appeared on screen, but his light was dim and flickering. "Fleet Commander, what is your status?" the speaker asked. "We are surrounded," Yithmore admitted. "The humans have technology we did not know existed. They have turned our own advantages against us." "That is impossible," Zethkari said. "Humans are a young species. They cannot have surpassed Council science in just 200 years. "With respect, Speaker, they clearly have. They are not fighting like any species we have encountered before." Admiral Brooks's voice cut into the conversation. "If I may interrupt, Speaker Zethkari, your fleet is welcome to leave any time. We are not holding you prisoner. We are simply showing you what human technology can really do." "This is some kind of trick," Zethkari said. "No trick," Brooks replied. "Just human engineering. You see, we have been studying Council technology for 200 years. Every time you showed us something, we took it home and made it better." A new voice joined the conversation. Dr. Barbara Martinez, Earth's top technology expert, appeared on a second channel. "The quantum drive you saw was version 1, she explained. "We are now using version 12. Your shields work by deflecting energy. Our weapons work by ignoring energy entirely. Your computers follow logical programming. Ours use chaos mathematics." "Chaos mathematics?" Zethkari asked. The math of random events and unpredictable systems, Dr. Martinez said. Very useful for warfare, as you are discovering. Yithmor looked at his tactical display. The situation was hopeless. His massive fleet was completely outmatched by a force 1/10 its size. But somehow no one was dying. The humans were demonstrating their superiority without causing a massacre. What do you want from us? He asked Admiral Brooks. Brooks smiled. Right now, we want you to take a message back to the Council. Tell them that humanity is ready to talk, but we will be talking as equals, not as subjects. The fleet commander realized that everything had changed. The Council's age of dominance was ending. A new power had risen in the galaxy, and it was showing mercy to its defeated enemies. That scared him more than any weapon could. The emergency session on Nexus Prime was chaos. Council members spoke in angry voices, their translators struggling to keep up. The great crystal dome that had seen 3,000 years of orderly debate now echoed with fear and confusion. Speaker, Zethkari called for silence, but his crystal body was flickering wildly. For the first time in Council history, they were losing a war. Report, he demanded from Fleet Commander Yithmor. The hegemony commander's image appeared on the main screen. Behind him, sparks flew from damaged systems. Speaker, my fleet is trapped in the human solar system. We cannot advance or retreat. Human technology is beyond anything we predicted. Counselor Rethavan of the Symbiotic Collective leaned forward. Her plant-like body was wilting with stress. Explain how this is possible. Humans are barely 200 years old as a spacefaring species. Ma'am, they appear to have been preparing for this conflict since first contact, Yithmor replied. Every piece of technology we showed them, they improved. Every weakness we revealed, they exploited. Tech analyst Vortham of the Builders clicked his mechanical parts nervously. This violates everything we know about technological development. Species need thousands of years to reach this level, unless they are not developing technology normally, said Elder Mithari of the Ancients. Her tree-like form swayed as she spoke. What if they have been stealing our secrets and building upon them? The screen changed to show Admiral Susan Parker of the human fleet. She was broadcasting from inside a collective shipyard. Somehow, she had taken control of it without harming a single worker. Greetings, Council members, she said politely. I wanted to assure you that your people are safe. We have disabled your military systems but left all life support intact. No one has been hurt. Agent Claith of the Shadows, who had been reporting on human panic just days before, now looked confused and defeated. Speaker, our intelligence was completely wrong. The humans were not retreating. They were positioning for attack. How could our spies be so mistaken? Demanded Counselor Nethra. Of the Watchers, Agent Caroline White's voice came through the communication system. Because we wanted you to be mistaken. Every piece of intelligence you gathered was carefully prepared. We have been feeding you false information for decades. The Council members fell silent. Their entire understanding of humanity had been built on lies. General Peter Davis appeared on another channel. He was speaking from the hegemony's main military academy. I am currently addressing 3,000 hegemony military cadets. They are very interested in learning about human tactical doctrine. You cannot recruit our people, Yithmor protested. We are not recruiting them, Davis replied. We are educating them. There is a difference. They are free to choose what they believe. Dr. Barbara Martinez joined the conversation from Earth. Council members, you seem confused about our capabilities. Let me clarify some things. She activated a holographic display that appeared in the Council chamber itself. The Council members jumped back in alarm. No outside technology should be able to work inside their most secure facility. This is a real-time display of human forces throughout the galaxy, Dr. Martinez explained. As you can see, we now control strategic positions in all 12 Council systems. The hologram showed human ships surrounding every major Council installation, but more shocking was the data it contained. Human forces had detailed information about Council military strength, defensive capabilities, and command structures. How long have you been spying on us? Zethkari asked. Since our first diplomatic contact, Dr. Martinez replied. Every treaty negotiation, every trade agreement, every cultural exchange was an opportunity to learn. You showed us your technology thinking you were demonstrating your superiority. We were taking notes. Captain Gregory White's voice came from yet another location. We are currently inside the builder's main construction facility. Your manufacturing techniques are impressive, but we have found several ways to improve them. Tech analyst Vortham's mechanical body sparked with anger. You cannot simply take our technology and improve it. That is not how science works. That is exactly how human science works, Captain White replied. We see something, we understand it, then we make it better. We have been doing this for 200 years. Dr. Linda Thompson, humanity's chief diplomatic strategist, appeared on the main communication channel. Council members, we need to discuss the real situation here. Your system of governance is based on technological superiority and the threat of force. You have ruled the galaxy by being stronger than everyone else. That system has brought 3,000 years of peace, Elder Mitheri said. Peace through oppression is not real peace, Dr. Thompson replied. You have prevented dozens of species from reaching their full potential. You have slowed scientific progress throughout the galaxy to maintain your control. She activated another display. This one showed records that made the council members uncomfortable. Files documenting the suppression of technological development among younger species. Plans to limit population growth and educational opportunities. Evidence of species that had been reduced to servant status. The Karathi could have been great explorers, Dr. Thompson said. Instead, you made them into gardeners. The Yelthari were brilliant engineers before you restricted their access to advanced mathematics. Counselor Rethvan tried to defend their actions. We protected those species from the dangers of rapid development. Look at the chaos humans have caused in just 200 years. What chaos? Asked Admiral Brooks, joining the conversation. We have settled 17 worlds without displacing a single native species. We have fought only defensive wars. We have shared our technology with anyone who asked for it. Major Daniel Kim's Special Operations Team had somehow gained access to the Council's historical archives. We are currently reviewing 3,000 years of Council records, he announced. We are finding some very interesting patterns. Those archives are classified, Zethkari protested. Not anymore, Kim replied. Did you know that the Council has destroyed 47 species that refuse to submit? Not in war, through economic isolation and technological sabotage. You let them die rather than allow them to develop independently. The evidence was overwhelming. The Council's rule had not brought peace. It had brought stagnation. They had created a galaxy where only 12 species were allowed to advance, while hundreds of others were kept in primitive conditions. Captain Angela Roberts demonstrated the human solution. Her fleet was coordinating with representatives from 30 different species that the Council had been suppressing. These species were sharing their own innovations with human scientists, creating new technologies that neither group could have developed alone. This is what progress looks like, she explained. Not one species controlling all others, but all species working together. The psychological impact on the Council was devastating. For 3,000 years, they had believed they were the natural rulers of the galaxy. They had convinced themselves that their dominance was for the greater good. Now they faced a species that was not only superior in technology, but also in moral vision. Humans were offering the galaxy something the Council never had. True cooperation instead of forced submission. Fleet Commander Yithmore delivered the final blow to Council confidence. Speaker, I must report that human forces have disabled our faster-than-light communication network. We are cut off from our home systems. How is that possible? Zethkari demanded. Admiral Brooks answered. We built a better network and simply routed all your communications through it. You can still talk to your people, but now we can listen to everything you say. The Council realized they had no secrets left. Their military plans, their diplomatic strategies, their private conversations, all of it was now available to human intelligence. What do you want from us? Zethkari finally asked. We want to talk, President Rodriguez said, joining the conversation for the first time. But we will be talking as equals. The age of council domination is over. The age of galactic cooperation is beginning. The council members sat in stunned silence. Their 3,000-year reign was ending, and they were powerless to stop it. Worse, they were beginning to realize that maybe it should end. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was leading that change. The council could resist and be swept away, or they could adapt and become part of something better. Either way, their old world was gone forever. 3 weeks had passed since the Council's failed invasion of Earth. The great crystal dome on Nexus Prime was quiet for the first time in centuries. The 12 Council members sat in their seats, but they looked defeated and lost. Speaker Zethkari's crystal body had stopped glowing entirely. He looked like a statue made of dark glass. Around him, the other Council members waited for something to happen. They had no plans left, no strategies, no hope. Fleet Commander Yithmor had returned from Earth with his fleet intact but humiliated. Not a single Council ship had been destroyed, but their technology had been completely outmatched. Worse, many of his crews were asking questions about why they had been fighting in the first place. "Speaker," said Councillor Rethvan quietly, "we need to discuss our situation." Zethkari did not respond. He had not spoken for 2 days. Elder Mithari of the Ancients moved her tree-like arms slowly. "In 3,000 years we have never faced defeat. We do not know how to handle this." "We could fight on," suggested tech analyst Vortham, but his mechanical voice lacked conviction. "We still have resources. We could rebuild." "Rebuild what?" asked Councillor Nethra. "Our ships? The humans can disable them faster than we can build them. Our weapons? They pass right through human defenses. Our strategies? They know everything we are going to do before we do it." Agent Claith of the Shadows had been silent since his intelligence network was exposed as completely compromised. Finally he spoke. "We could surrender completely, accept whatever terms the humans offer." "No," said Yithmor firmly. "That would be the end of our civilization." "Our civilization ended 3 weeks ago," Elder Mithari replied. "We just have not admitted it yet." A new voice entered the chamber. It was Ambassador John Martinez speaking from New Geneva Station. "Council members, President Rodriguez would like to speak with you." The main display activated. President Rodriguez appeared, sitting in a simple chair in the Oval Office on Earth. Behind him were maps showing Earth's continents and oceans. He looked calm and peaceful, like a man who had just finished reading a good book. "Speaker Zethkari, Council members," he said with a slight nod, "I believe it is time for us to have an honest conversation." Zethkari's crystal body flickered slightly. "President Rodriguez, have you come to dictate terms of surrender?" "No," Rodriguez replied. "I have come to offer partnership." The Council members looked at each other in confusion. This was not what they expected. Rodriguez continued. "For 3,000 years, the Galactic Council has maintained order through dominance. You kept peace by being stronger than everyone else, but that kind of peace cannot last forever." "It lasted 3,000 years," Mithari said defensively. "And in those 3,000 years, how much did the galaxy advance?" Rodriguez asked. "How many new discoveries were made? How many species reached their full potential?" Dr. Linda Thompson appeared beside the president. She activated a display showing galactic technological development over time. The graph was nearly flat for 3 millennia. "Scientific progress in Council space has been almost zero," she explained. "You created stability by preventing change, but without change, there is no growth." Tech analyst Vortham studied the data. "These numbers cannot be correct." "They are correct," said Dr. Barbara Martinez, joining the conversation. "We have analyzed 3,000 years of Council records. Your civilization has been standing still while ours has been racing forward." Captain Gregory White's voice came from somewhere near Nexus Prime itself. The Council members realized with shock that human ships were now orbiting their capital world. "We could have been working together all this time," he said. "Instead, you spent your energy keeping others down while we spent ours moving up." President Rodriguez leaned forward in his chair. "The question now is what happens next." The old system is broken. We need to build something new. What are you proposing? Asked Zethkari. A true federation, Rodriguez replied. Not council rule with some species on top and others on the bottom. Real equality. Every species gets a voice. Decisions are made by consensus, not by force. Councillor Rethvon shook her plant-like head. That would be chaos. Different species want different things. Without central authority, there would be constant conflict. Would there? Asked Admiral Brooks, appearing on another channel. When was the last time two species actually fought each other rather than fighting against council control? The question hung in the air. The council members realized they could not think of a single example. All major conflicts in recent centuries had been between the council and species trying to break free from their control. Dr. Patricia Lewis of the Aurora Project appeared on screen. We want to show you something, council members. Something that will change how you think about cooperation. The display changed to show a massive construction project in space. It was a station unlike anything ever built, part human technology, part council engineering, part designs from species the council had never even heard of. This is Deep Space Station Unity, Dr. Lewis explained. It is being built by 37 different species working together. Each group contributes their best technology and knowledge. The council members stared at the impossible structure. It was beautiful and functional in ways that none of their own designs had ever achieved. How is this possible? Asked Vortham. Simple, replied Dr. Lewis. When you let species develop freely and share knowledge, amazing things happen. This station will be finished in 6 months. Using council methods, it would take 50 years. President Rodriguez stood up from his chair. Council members, I am going to show you something that no other species has ever seen. The display changed, again. This time it showed the inside of a laboratory deep beneath Earth's surface. Dr. Patricia Lewis was standing next to a machine that seemed to bend space around itself. This is the real source of human technology, Rodriguez explained. 50 years ago, we discovered something remarkable. We learned how to accelerate the natural processes of scientific discovery. The machine activated. Energy flowed through crystalline structures that looked similar to Vorthak technology, but far more advanced. Mathematical equations appeared in the air, solving themselves faster than any computer could calculate. We call it the knowledge engine, Rodriguez said. It takes existing scientific principles and explores all possible variations. In 50 years, it has given us 10,000 years' worth of scientific advancement. Zethkari's crystal body began to glow faintly. You have been hiding this from us? Yes, Rodriguez admitted. We knew that if the council discovered it, you would either take it from us or destroy it to maintain your control. Admiral Brooks rejoined the conversation. But now we want to share it with everyone, including you. The offer hung in the air like a physical presence. The council members could hardly believe what they were hearing. Humans were offering to share the technology that had made them the dominant power in the galaxy. Why? Asked Elder Mithari. Why would you give away your greatest advantage? Because it is not an advantage if only one species has it, Rodriguez replied. The knowledge engine works best when it has access to different ways of thinking. Human minds are good at some things. Vorthak crystal consciousness is good at others. Builder's mechanical logic offers yet another perspective. Dr. Martinez appeared again. We estimate that with full cooperation from all galactic species, we could advance by 100,000 years of normal development in the next century. And if we refuse? Asked Yithmore. Rodriguez shrugged. Then you refuse. We will not force anyone to join, but the old system of domination and control is over. The choice is between cooperation and isolation. Captain Angela Roberts demonstrated this principle by opening a stable wormhole directly into the council chamber. Through it stepped President Rodriguez himself, along with several human diplomats and scientists. The council members recoiled, in shock. No outside technology had ever penetrated their most secure facility. Now humans were walking freely through their capital. How? Gasped Zethkari. We have had this capability for years, Rodriguez replied calmly. We could have ended council rule any time we wanted. We chose to wait until you forced our hand. The president walked to the center of the chamber. Council members, your choice is simple. You can join the new Galactic Federation as equal partners. You can contribute your knowledge and experience to building something better than anyone has ever achieved. He paused and looked at each council member in turn. Or you can remain in isolation, clinging to old ways while the rest of the galaxy moves forward without you. The silence stretched for long minutes. Finally, Elder Mithari spoke. In 3,000 years, we have never encountered anything like this. Because in 3,000 years, you prevented anyone from developing anything like this, Dr. Thompson replied. You created a galaxy of artificial limitations. Zethkari's crystal body began to pulse with slow light. If we agree to this federation, what happens to the council? The council ends, Rodriguez said simply. All member species become equal participants in the new system. No more rulers and subjects, no more protection protocols, no more technological restrictions. And if some species are not ready for advanced technology, asked Rethvan, then they develop at their own pace, Admiral Brooks replied. But they develop freely without